That's right, everybody. You read the thumbnail correctly. Congratulations. We're now in a place of discomfort. I know, everyone's going to be mad at me by this take, but I want to bring up a few key points, and I'll tell you why pre-time skip Luffy smashes Kaido. So let's get right into it, man. So I don't believe hockey was ever a necessary part of One Piece. That is my forefront opinion because now we're at a place in One Piece where it's still cool, it's still engaging, it's still fun, but it is certainly not the pirate manga we fell in love with pre-time skip. So let me break down a few reasons why pre-time skip Luffy would absolutely demolish post-time skip Kaido. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to remove the concept of hockey altogether. Threw it out the window, it's gone, all of you forget about it. Alright? So the next thing we have is it's up to Devil Fruit's abilities. Okay? Now, we aren't going with the premise that Luffy has the Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika. He doesn't have that. What he has is the Gumu Gumu no Mi, which is the paramecia that we know and love. Kaido still has his Ua Ua no Mi. Now, here's where things get interesting. In this version of One Piece, the way I see it going is Luffy understanding the world, the political aspect, more about Kaido's character, and then in this One Piece, we actually get to see Kaido's character development, more so than the power dynamics and the supreme color of hockey. Okay, so Luffy develops tactics in the 2-year time skip with his Devil Fruit to keep him progressing forward. So one of these fantastic ways he would do that is by utilizing his limitations. What do I mean by that? Well, he's a rubber human. What limitations would he have? Well, being a rubber human means that he's immune to blunt objects like the Kanabo Kaido uses. Now, he is weak, and his limitations would be from slicing weapons, but he's immune to lightning, which is like Kaido's thing. Kaido's like, and like, Thunder Bagua, and uses his Kanabo, which would do no damage to Luffy. The lightning would do no damage to Luffy. So already, Luffy's at a distinct advantage, right? But let's say Kaido has some shenanigans where he can utilize a Sea Prism Kanabo, which is totally possible. One Piece is a story of willpower, okay? Kaido could easily overcome the will of holding a Sea Prism Kanabo, and that's where I would like the story to head up, right? I would have liked to see One Piece go in the direction of utilizing Sea Prism more so, and that's how you could introduce Wano instead of hockey. Luffy could have, like, Sea Prism gauntlets where he's just smashing bitches with it, and Kaido could have the Sea Prism Kanabo. And you would see them clash in this epic, like, Sea Prism fight, and you get to a point where Luffy breaks Kaido's Kanabo. Now, here's where things get interesting. The Kanabo's smashed. Kaido's at a disadvantage. Luffy's using the fullest extent of his Gumu Gumu no Mi. Kaido would still prevail physically because of the Boro breath. Kaido would blast Luffy, and Luffy would be like, "Oh, shit, man, dang!" and just, like, fly across Onigashima. And then the awakening still occurs, as is intended with Gear 5th, but this time, it's warping the world into rubber. And instead of warping the world around him into rubber, he can turn other individuals and objects into rubber. So he turns Kaido into rubber, and Kaido, who's been a boned human for the most part, or whatever he is, his whole life, a boned dragon. He's got bones. They might be light, but he still has bones. His bones turn to rubber. If your bones, I'm a physiologist, look at those behind me. If your bones turn to rubber right now, dog, you're not neurologically equipped to be able to stand up properly. You would, and just like, no. And then on top of that, here's the kicker. You still feel pain as a rubber human. Luffy neurologically has had time to adapt to his displacement being a rubber human. Kaido would not. So all of a sudden, Kaido feels all the pain of being a rubber human while Luffy's just smashing him. Bah, bah, bah. And that's how Luffy would defeat Kaido. So we have steps here, guys. One, utilization of Sea Prism within the One Piece story instead of that yicky sticky hockey. You still have the clash of willpowers, which is culturally appropriate to the writing and storytelling Oda was going for by even utilizing hockey. So now we have both the corrections for hockey as a concept that we can just throw it out the window, into the trash, gone forever. And Kaido still poses a threat to Luffy, even though Luffy's immune to his Kanabo, outside of it being Sea Prism, and his Boro Breath. He could, and Luffy would be burned. Luffy's not immune to being burned, okay? So again, there's ways around the current story metrics, and we just found a direct path to it. And pre-timeskip Luffy would totally defeat Kaido if the storytelling was on point. And this is where I really want to emphasize I'm not a fan of current One Piece. I've been a One Piece fan since Chapter 1 in 1999. And where it has headed now is totally different than what I would want. I forget they're pirates when I'm reading the manga. I don't even remember they're pirates. You know, back during pre-timeskip One Piece, we've got Bellamy, we've got Gold Roger, we have Whitebeard, Blackbeard, we have individuals who are named after real-life pirates, you know, and there's real sightings of actual, like, historical events, and that ties into the real world nicely, and that builds the world of One Piece. We no longer have that. What we have is a fantastical story that's built more and more on the fictional aspect of it and less so on the historical aspect of it. And I think that's great. I'm still loving it. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from current One Piece, but it took something away from me. It took the grandiose adventure of a small group of pirates setting sail to conquer the world through freedom. And I think it's totally switched. That's like if I made freaking, whatever that kid's name from Sword Art Online, Kirito, that'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, Kirito's a freaking god in Sword Art Online. I haven't seen Sword Art Online, so he might be, but still, it would be bullshit. Everyone would be like, psh. But because it's Oda and because it's One Piece, we accept it. I do not. I want to see the original One Piece that I fell in love with. I want to see the grandiose pirate adventure. I want to see this little punk-ass rubber boy beat the shit out of a dragon. That's all I want. That's all I want. And he could totally do it. Are you kidding me? He ate Crocodile. You guys remember that? He went and ate him. All right. He did like this weird thing where he became a UFO in the same battle. Right? Or maybe Storm, where he just like twisted up, flew up in the air. So there's creative ways you could have written Luffy to beat impossible threats. Kaido is no exception. So with the awakening, Luffy would turn Kaido to rubber. Kaido is not neurologically equipped to deal with this transformation on the spot. Luffy beats the shit out of him. Bam, bam, Bob's your uncle, throw him in the toilet. Moving on to Elbaf. Okay? Skip the Vegapunk Island arc. I don't care. I don't care. I understand it has to happen because of the Void Century, and we have to learn about it in Ohara. Cool. We could learn that on Elbaf. We could have met Vegapunk and Shanks on Elbaf. In fact, Shanks could have been associated with Vegapunk, which is why the world government is so keen to letting Shanks into anywhere. Now, we know Shanks is a knight. I'll make a video, another video about that another day, but essentially you could have combined that. Anyway, pre-timeskip, Luffy beats Kaido any day. Anyway, guys, make sure to like and subscribe this video. Please, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers before December. So if you could, subscribe. I'm going to be making daily videos and daily shorts, so stay tuned for that. I love you all. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.